In this video, we're going to take a look at a function to format a social security number. Here is the description of what we're going to do. So it's going to be called format SSN, and it's going to accept a string that holds a social security number, at least it's supposed to. And it'll return the social security number with hyphens between the third and fourth characters, and also between the fifth and sixth characters. And that's counting like people count, not like computers count. So this would actually be between the index 2 and index 3. And this would be between index 4 and index 5. Before returning, make sure to check that the string has exactly 9 digits. If they're leading or trailing blanks, trim them. If the trim string is not 9 characters long or has a non-digits, return an invalid error message along with the description of the problem. So let's just take this one step at a time. Let's assume that everything is valid. So we do get something like this. We get a 9-character string that's all made up of digits, and I want to return 123-45-6789, which is the way that social security numbers are typically formatted. So let's flip over to Spider, and let's open up a little bit of space here at the top. The name of our function is format SSN. I'm going to pass in a social security number, so let's call it SSN. And we're going to assume everything is good. So what I want is, I can do this with one command actually. I want to pick off the first 3 characters. So that's going to be a slice. And I want everything up to, but not including, the third character, or character at index 3 rather, it'd be the 4th character, plus I want to add a hyphen, so that's a string. I'm concatenating a string on here. And then I want the next 2 characters, which is going to be a slice of a string that begins at 3 and goes up to but not including 5, and then plus another hyphen, and then plus SSN, and I want to start 5 and go to the end. Okay, we're assuming that there are exactly 9 characters, so we don't need to worry about specifying the end. Okay, so now if I go down here and I call this format SSN, I'm going to pass in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it should return that with hyphens in the appropriate places. Let's go ahead and run this and see if I did it without making any mistakes, and it looks like I did. Okay, so now before I do that, now let's go to the next thing. The next thing is trim any spaces off of it. So if there are spaces, we're going to take what's currently there and we are going to trim. Now in many programming languages, trim is the function that you use here. In Python, it's called strip. So we're going to do strip and there's 2 versions of strip, or there's 3 versions of strip. One that will strip from both the front and the back, the left and the right side of the string. And then there's one called lstrip, which will just strip from the left side, and rstrip, which will just strip from the right side. But this will do both. By the way, when I did this and I hit the period, nothing popped up. Actually, now it is. Okay, so we've modified the string. We've stripped off any spaces on the front and the back. And now if I take this same call here and just make a minor change to it, let's paste it in down here. And I'm going to put a bunch of spaces on the front, and I'm going to put a bunch of spaces on the back. And I'm going to run it, and I should get the same social security number printed out both times at the end now. So I am getting the same one, okay? We had some other restrictions on it. And check the length. Once we stripped off the spaces, see if it's the right length. And it can be too long. It could also be too short, which I didn't specify. So let's add some error checking here. And if the length of the Social Security number after stripping everything off is not equal to 9, then I'm going to return an error message that says invalid length must be exactly 9 digits. And it would probably be better if we actually did 2 if statements here. Make our program a little bit more friendly. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say if it's less than, if the length is less than 9, then I'm going to say too short. And then I'm going to do another if statement. If length of SSN is greater than 9, I'm going to return, and let's save myself a little work here. Copy that. And just change the word short to long. Okay. So now I am going to print. So that's way too short, and then I'm going to do print one, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be way too long. And actually, probably a smart thing to do would be to check it with one that's exactly under the limit, so with a length of 8, and one that is just above the limit with a length of 10. And you'll be a little bit more certain that it's working correctly if you do that. So let's go ahead and run it. First 2 work out fine, and then it said it's too short, and then it says it's too long. And the last thing we do is we're going to make sure that it is completely numeric. So let's, if, now SSN dot is numeric, will return true if it's all digits. It will return false if it's not. Now, we know by the time we get to this line, the only way we can get to this line is if it is exactly 9 characters long. Because if it's not 9 characters long, we've returned already up here. So now I'm looking for another error. So I want to know if it's not numeric. So if just put not in front of that. So if it's not numeric, then I'm going to return invalid SSN, comma, must only contain digits. Okay. So now if I try to run it down here, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, let's make sure it's the right length. 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 9. So we will not get filtered out because it is too short or too long, but we should get filtered out right here. So let's go ahead and run that now, and our last message should tell us it should contain only digits, and it does. Okay, let's stop there, and we'll do another function in the next video.